Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great commentary. Channel updates first. Um, First of all, I want to remind everybody that for the 10 millionth time, it is not me who is deleting your comments. I've seen a few comments have been deleted. It's YouTube who's doing it, not me. Second thing, one deleted comment was asking if I would be willing to do a live stream. That is not in the cards at the moment because I don't think I would be very good at it. Another thing is that, like, how many people even regularly, I mean, like, I have some videos that have a lot of views, but how many people even regularly watch my content? Like 50 at most? It's probably not even that. It's probably more like 25. So I don't know that there would be enough to really do a live stream. Live stream is more, for me, either if you've got a ton of followers or if you're an attractive girl, because people will always watch an attractive girl on live stream. Like even if you were like Chad, I don't think you could do a live stream and get a lot of people on it unless you were like, well, there might be some gay guys who would go watch it. I don't know. So yeah, that's not. I mean, I don't think it's a horrible idea. I might do it in the future. I don't know. I think that if it's something you want to see, like me do a live stream, I think the end result it would probably be something you were disappointed with because I don't think I'd be very good at it. But I'm definitely open to the idea. But I don't see it. I don't see it happening in the near future. Definitely. Um, Another thing is some of you may have noticed that I don't even remember when my last video was. Maybe it hasn't been too long, but I feel like I haven't made any new content in a while. It's because of work. Um, the I'm only working 5 hours a day. So 5 days a week, 5 hours a day. That's noon to 5. Okay. And it takes me 15 minutes each way to commute. And I'm still losing my fucking mind. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. I just cannot work. Um, I don't know. At least I'm making some money, so hopefully, like, maybe if I can, like, repair my finances, right now it seems like I'm making like about $1,000 a week. So if I can keep that up for like 6 months, right, then that would be 4,000 20. Yeah, that would be like basically enough to no, that plus taxes, that would replenish part of my finances. I'd probably have to do it for a year to really like replenish the finances that the money that I've burned uh over that past decade of just not decade, but it was close to a decade of just wasted of stuff that I've really bad investments that I've made. Um, and then I don't know what I would do after that. I don't know what I would do after that. The reason I'm having more success in this is because I'm still selling insurance, but I'm getting much better leads and I have a much better product. If you've seen my other one, I don't know if that video has been deleted, but I was selling insurance for Sleazy and Rico's Discount Insurance. And if you haven't heard of that company, it's because it's only in Michigan. That's the only place it is. And they just like they're a really good company, but their prices just aren't that good. I mean, they're not horrible, they're not the worst, but they're bad. And insurance, like, no, there's more to insurance than price. Don't get me wrong. I'm be the first person to tell you that. But generally, insurance price is what people switch insurance for. That's pretty much the only reason people switch their insurance is price. So you need that to at least get people in the door. Is the price thing. Nobody cares about like they're like, oh hey man, you're vulnerable. Like your bodily injury limits only go up to 300,000 if you were found at fault in an accident. All your assets could be at risk. We need to raise those limits and get you an umbrella policy. Nobody cares. So yeah. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah. So the thing, I'm not going to say the name of the company I'm working for now. You never see them on TV. But even still, I don't want to say their name. But it's not. I didn't really care if like Sleazy and Rico's got in trouble because I wasn't making any money at that job anyway. So I didn't care if I lost that job. But this one, like, I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get fired just yet. All right. Um, okay. Was that so? What we're here to talk about today? I'm not sure if I mentioned it in a video, but I think I did mention it in some comments or responses to comments that I was going to be starting testosterone replacement therapy. So just a little bit of background. Um, the I had heard that, like, I don't know, it was like, it probably wasn't 10 years ago. It was probably like 6 or 7 years ago. Is when I had heard really that low testosterone can cause fatigue, which is the main symptom of low testosterone that I've had. So, but I was like dismissive. I didn't even want to go get the testosterone levels checked because I was like, there's no way that I have low testosterone. It's just not possible because I was thinking that if I had low testosterone, there would be a couple other things. One, um, uh, you'd have a low libido, which I didn't. Two, you would have loss of muscle mass. And again, I don't carry a lot of muscle mass, but no, I haven't had any loss of muscle mass. Three, you would have loss of body and facial hair. Again, never had a lot of body hair, never had a lot of facial hair, but I'm certainly wasn't losing any. So it just, couldn't see any way. How could I have low testosterone? And on top of that, I was still kind of aggressive. Like, I kind of like, I really had an interest still in combat sports and in, things like military history, very like things that are very testosterone, things that like, if you didn't have if you had low testosterone, you presumably wouldn't be interested in that stuff. Right. And nor was I suffering from a lot of irritability, or being very like uneven emotions. I had depression, but that didn't get really bad until this year. And that was clearly the result of, TMS gone wrong. So I just didn't see it. I just like, it just can't be the case. But I was so frustrated, with the fatigue, which it just seemed to be getting worse and worse. And, that I finally was like, you know what, let me get it checked out. Let me get it checked out and see what it is. And then my testosterone levels, when I did get it checked out, came back at 275 DLNG. So that's like bad for a 90-year-old man. That's really low. Like, you're not supposed to be any lower. Like, basically testosterone goes in ranges where it's like 320 or something, 320 to 1,000 something. But really, even in the lower range, there's probably already something wrong. Like, you're not supposed to have be in that lower range. It's like normal. It's maybe normal, but it's not really healthy. At least not for most people. Obviously, the optimal testosterone level is going to be different for each person, and it's even going to be different for a person at different times of the day and different times of the year, stuff like that. So I was like, when I got it, I was actually happy because I was like, oh, this is what's explaining my sleep problems and my fatigue and maybe even some of my depression. So I'll start this treatment and it's going to make me a lot better. And it might even make me, less, nervous and jittery and more confident too. And maybe I'll be able to grow a beard. So I was really excited to do it because I really thought that this is going to be it. This is going to help me out a lot. And the only thing I was thinking is, man, I wish I'd thought of this earlier and started this a lot earlier. So anyway, I went to start the treatment to get the initial round of things I'm not the initial round, a year's worth of treatment. You have to buy it all up front. Is like, I can't remember. It's like 8,000 or 9,000. It was a lot. This is part of the funds that I need to replenish now. 1/3 of my bad investments. So the stuff it's not like I was expecting it to just be like an injection that you take maybe once a week or something, but there's there's other things they package it with you. There's three injections and a bunch of pills. The pills are mainly designed to treat the side effects of you injecting testosterone. Because when you inject testosterone, it A, raises your estrogen, and B, shuts down your natural testosterone. So you have to take certain pills to make sure your balls don't turn into raisins. You have to take pills to keep your estrogen level low. And then they have other pills that are designed, because they can't give you growth hormone injections anymore. So they have pills that are designed to trigger your brain into releasing more growth hormone. My growth hormone levels were a little low, but that's probably just bullshit. And then there's other injections for like amino acids and stuff. So it was really like a pain in the ass, no pun intended, because that is where you inject it. But it's like it was just a lot of medications to keep track of. You're talking about 4 different pills and 3 different injections over the course of like the different days. So it was just hard to keep track of like what to do. And then you have to like when you're ready to do the injections, I mean, the pills are just pills, but the injections, you got to take out an alcoholic swab, clean off the top of the bottle, take out one of the needles and like pull it down to like the 1 milliliter thing, poke it into the top of the vial, I guess it's called. I don't know, the thing that has the testosterone or whatever in it, and then pull it down, let it fill up, go, and then see like, okay, is that 1 milliliter? Great. Turn around, stick it in your butt, inject, and it actually doesn't hurt at all. It's nothing like if you've got the COVID vaccine, that thing fucking hurts right in the shoulder. This is like completely painless. It's not even a pinch. You really don't feel it. So yeah, so I mean, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's just annoying to have to do it and to keep this shit all over your room. Like, it's like stuff is just everywhere and stuff. Like when I was finally able to clear the stuff out, I felt better. Like, oh God, all those medications and syringes and vials of testosterone are finally out of my hair. But anyway, that is not why I quit. I would have kept with it if it was just that. I quit because it was fucking with my sleep. And I don't sleep well anyway, but this thing was absolutely devastating to my sleep. Like, completely devastating. It got to the point where by the end of the 2 weeks, I would go to bed and I could sleep 2 hours. Then I would wake up for an hour. Then I'd go back to sleep for another hour. Then I would wake up and I'd go back to sleep for another hour. And that was it. I was not able to sleep any more than that. At least not during the day, because after that I would have to go. I would have to be up until it was time to go to work, come back to work, and then go through the same thing. So I was sleeping 4 and 5 hours a day. Keep in mind, I normally sleep, in the 8 to 9 range, and maybe if I'd stuck with it, it would have gotten better. But it was really bad. So, and then I started thinking like, this is weird. Do I have sleep apnea? Have I developed sleep apnea? Because sleep apnea was another thing. I said like, oh, well, I can't, I mean, I guess I've had a lot of this fatigue symptoms of sleep apnea, but I figured, I couldn't have it. And there was a few reasons. One is I thought that sleep apnea meant that you couldn't sleep more than like 4 or 5 hours. Because if you did, it would wake you up. Like you would wake up and then not be able to fall back asleep. And that was never my problem. I've always been able, not always, but for a long time, I've been able to get my 8.5 to 9 hours, not usually in one burst, but over the course of 2. So I figured I couldn't have sleep apnea. And then the other was that I don't snore. Although apparently some people have told me that I actually do snore, but how would I have known that? Because but even if I do, I don't snore as bad as some people do. So but I was thinking like, okay, did this testosterone stuff somehow give me sleep apnea? So I looked it up like, problems with testosterone injection in sleep, and apparently it's a very common side effect. Where you go on the injections and you can't wait, you sleep for like a few hours and you can't go back to sleep, and that's that. And some people say if you stick with it, it'll stop. I don't know, but you have to, and but also that this was the thing they said, and I can't remember if they asked me about this before I started taking the injections, but they said if you have sleep apnea, you can't take testosterone injections because it's going to make the sleep apnea a lot worse. So then I was like, oh shit, well, maybe I do have sleep apnea, and I definitely shouldn't be taking any more injections until I've confirmed that I don't. Um, so I was just like, you know what, man, I'm not going to take this anymore. At least for now. And I stopped. And then, like, I would say even by the time that I actually stopped, first of all, like when you quit, you're supposed to keep taking some of the meds for a while to let your natural testosterone come back. But I just quit cold turkey because I didn't know which meds were which. And I just didn't want to be involved with it anymore. I figured, like, I've only taken this for 2 weeks. I should be able to quit it cold turkey. And I did. It didn't cause any problems. It's been like, I think it's been like 3 weeks now, and I feel back to normal. Um, which gets to the next thing. There were some other problems with it too. One is, and I don't understand this at all. It absolutely killed my libido. Now I don't really care. That's not a problem. If anything, it was helpful, but it's just weird. Like why? Like it doesn't feel like it's like it makes me think that like something's not right here. That it wouldn't be here. Also, if your testosterone is going up, why would your libido go down? That makes no sense. Um, then the other thing was, what was the other thing? The other thing was I just felt off. Like something just didn't feel right, and it could have been, like I said, it could have been maybe it was just the libido combined with the lack of sleep. Maybe that was all it was, but I just felt off. Like something was wrong. Something was not. It just didn't feel right. And then, I thought more about it, and I was thinking about, like, when you take the testosterone and you have to take all these other medications just to deal with the after effects of you taking the testosterone, it just made me think, like, maybe you're really not supposed to, mess with hormones like this, because when you change one, it changes everything else, because the body is so complicated. I'm not saying that there aren't people, I know that there are people who really benefit from TRT. Um, but I think that it might be a little overprescribed. It might be kind of overused. I don't know that it's necessarily a good choice for everybody, and I'm confident it's not a good choice for me. Because the main reason I did it was the fatigue and the sleep, and all it did was make that worse. Instead, on the other hand, I did get something out of it though. It inspired me to get checked for sleep apnea. So I'm doing the sleep study tonight, and I guess hopefully it comes back that I have sleep apnea. That would explain all my fatigue and sleep problems, and then I can just get that treated. Um, so yeah, but anyway, I guess I would leave you with, I am absolutely not recommending somebody to. This is why I quit TRT. This is not meant to be a warning against TRT or talk about the dark side of TRT. Nothing like that. I have. There's nothing in my experience that has made me think that TRT is a bad thing. Um, it's just that I don't think it's necessarily the right solution for everybody, and it wasn't for me. But although I was able to get out with just wasted money and nothing else, I mean, if you do it for a long time, obviously there's more risk of the longer you do it, the more risk there is that it'll take longer for you to recover or get back to normal. You do maybe not permanent damage. I guess that's always possible, but more long-term damage. That's just what I've heard. So just be your own advocate, and just make sure that you're being honest with yourself and being realistic about like what's causing your problems. Like, are you just feeling like a little grumpy and a little sluggish, and your testosterone is maybe like 400 or something, not that low? Then maybe you want to look at natural ways of raising your testosterone first, something like that. But absolutely, I'm not telling you not to do it. Just saying, this is just my experience, and that's that. So that's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next.